who's got the first question? You haven't done said a thing all day. You asked the question.
I'm just listening.
I know, you're asking a question.
Suppression.
Joey, what's the difference in the work here and the work that you did prior to this?
It's been a great transition here. We've been working hard since we've been here. During my time in Butler, I had a great 3 years. But kind of that chapter of my life is over, and it's kind of a new chapter here at Indiana for the next 2 years. And we've been getting after it as a group, and we're excited.
What is the adjustment process for you been like coming over to IU? Has it been difficult for you to kind of get involved, or has it been an easy process getting the team chemistry just like some of the freshmen on the team have to?
It's been a really smooth transition. We have a bunch of great guys here. They all welcome me with open arms, and it's been a great transition.
Joey, Archie's talked about you as somebody that's come in and been a really strong voice in the locker room and a leader. Is that something that he talked to you about before you came on board, kind of during the recruiting process, and is that just kind of part of who you are?
It was something that we had talked about when I was getting recruited, but I do think it's kind of a little bit of my personality. I'm comfortable with who I am, and I don't have any problem talking and speaking up on anything.
Joey, it's kind of unusual, but you're coming in, but you're going to be one of the guys that they lean on for production pretty instantly when the season starts. Is there any pressure to you come in like you have, but yet being a guy that they're going to be leaning on pretty quickly?
It's an unbelievable opportunity, but we've put in a lot of time, a lot of effort. I'm comfortable with letting the chips fall where they may.
Questions for Race?
Yes, Race, the way your first 2 years have been here, are you really looking forward for this season to get here and just be able to get out there and be a part of a productive team effort here?
Yeah.
Race, how much rust did you have when you got to the court last year? And are you much better now?
Just a little bit of rust, but yeah, I'm good now, back to normal, feeling good.
Reese had that good defensive game against Ethan Happ last year, and then Coach said that there's still room for you to kind of improve on the offensive end. I mean, do you think you've kind of improved a lot, and what have you improved most on that side of the floor?
Yeah, I definitely improved on offense, shooting the ball, just being stronger everywhere I'm at. Basically just improving the all-around game, but shooting was a point that Coach talked about a lot. So.
Reese, how difficult was it, both physically and mentally, kind of dealing with the injury coming back? What was that process like for you?
It wasn't easy, but I did it, so it wasn't that bad. It was hard.
Somebody in the microphone.
Where's this go?
Joey, I don't know if this is even something you think a lot about, but normally a grad transfer, I think for most guys, is just kind of a one-year deal. You only have that one season to kind of go through everything and play. You get 2 years. Does it ever kind of enter your mind that you can approach this differently as an experienced guy, but also a guy that's maybe not trying to think about everything in terms of just having one season here?
Yeah, it's a great chance to get to have 2 years here. It doesn't have to be like forced right now. It's kind of has had a natural progression of things, and I really get to be a part of Indiana. It's not just a 9-month exchange, and I get to be here for 2 whole years.
Joe, you obviously had a really good summer from a weightlifting perspective. I guess how much of a change did you see physically, and how much have you seen that, and how has that translated, I guess, in the basketball court so far?
I had a great summer with Coach Cliff in the weight room. We laid out some goals, and we worked at it every day, and I was able to change my diet a little bit, and that really helped. On the court, I feel like I'm running better, moving better. so I've definitely felt a little bit of a transition onto the court.
Joe, this is for you. Growing up in Indy, what did IU basketball mean to you? How much did you watch guys? Who were guys you watched? What does it kind of mean to you to not wear that jersey?
Growing up, I definitely remember watching like the Cody Zeller teams with Jordy Holes and Vic Oladipo, and those teams just really stick out in my head for watching and with playing AAU and JC Holes was coaching our group, and there's a lot of ties to Indiana and just being around. So it's a pretty neat opportunity to get put on this uniform.
Joey, working out with Trace last spring, what was that like? What do you see in his potential, and how do you think that chemistry can kind of carry over on the court this season?
Trace is a great kid before anything else on the basketball court, but he has a great opportunity in front of him. Has a very high ceiling, and I'm real excited to get to play with him and watch him and root for him.
Joey, just in the couple months you've been around him, what's impressed you about Jerome Hunter as a player?
I think first Jerome has a great attitude. Not being here last year, not just with being hurt. He comes in with a great attitude. He works his butt off. And, he's been great in our open gyms when we went live. And, he plays hard, he shoots it well. He's long, he's a good defender. I think he's going to be an important piece for us this year.
Joey, getting to play against IU last year, what was your kind of perception of the program then, and how has it changed since you've been kind of, instead of on the outside playing against them, on the inside being a part of it?
We had a great game last year against IU when I was at Butler, and I knew it was a great group of guys, really talented group, and getting in here, we see that there's a lot of really good people here in the program, affiliated with the program. It's a great opportunity to be a part of that.
Anything else?
Ray said during your third year you've been able to work with front court guys like Juwan Moore and Deron Davis. I mean, what have you learned from them that you've been able to kind of apply to your game?
I'd say the main thing I really learned from them is just patience and not rushing through my shots, rushing through a move or nothing. So patience and just being strong all the time. Just like they taught me day in and day out.
All right, anything else for this group? Back here?
Joey, in a couple interviews, you kind of describe yourself as an old soul, both with your own personality and like kind of what your flavor is for your favorite kind of basketball combination, like your NBA starting five. So, where does that come from? Is that just something that was ingrained in you as a kid to kind of a soft spot for the classics and things like that?
I did catch a little bit of grief from my starting five from people for not including Jordan. In hindsight, I probably should have changed that. But just growing up with my parents, listening to a lot of old music, probably a soft spot, and then with YouTube, just watching Larry Bird and Kevin McHale and Hakeem highlights. It's kind of, I guess, probably a little bit of where that stems from.
Mike, did you have something? All right, thank you guys. Thank you.